Hi, it's David Cordelson again, and this is another Mach 9 video about what we're doing and what we need help with. Um, so I'm just gonna minimize me off to the side here. Just a little reminder, Mach 9 is a training app for tournament Texas Hold'em poker. We have close to an MVP done, but we still need help in a few areas, most notably UX UI. I do have a web developer helping me with the actual coding of the front end, but I need some professional help with the design. And it's not a standard design, so I can't just I wouldn't be able to just hire anybody. It would have to be somebody that either is knowledgeable about Texas Hold'em or is willing to do a deep dive into Texas Hold'em in a relatively short period of time. Because we want to get the MVP out by the end of March. So that said, I'm just going to take you through the functional design that I've been sort of working on for a while now. It's sort of a living document, and it's not perfect, but it's what I've kind of come up with, having been around software development for many years. So it all starts with I got this color palette from a Fiverr guy. This does not need to stay. It just has some buttons and some colors and things like that and typography. Not really sure if I want to stick with this, but this is something that I've. It's kind of like a rough start. This is the flow. I think I've talked about this before in previous videos where there's some prerequisites for any given rule and then some extra tools that the user can add on to any given rule. And then the whole idea is that they would have a series of rules like this that would then play in a Texas Hold'em tournament as a bot. There's always obviously got to be a login and registration. Um, And then, so the strategies or the rules, I kind of go back and forth. The strategy is actually a set of rules, and then each one of these would represent a rule. There'd be a name, there'd be a round, hole cards, and this is a series of hole cards, position, blinds, and then the details. And then the details part is where those extra tools come into play. And this is just kind of like a rough layout of like maybe the home page where you see the list of rules. I think I have some other ideas about this as well. Uh, and I mean, I don't want to, dig too far into this, but if they run a test, there's going to be some results here. I don't know what these values are really going to be. We'd have to play around with that a little bit. The biggest thing is when we're actually adding new rules, you get to set the name, you get to set the position, the round. The other thing that's missing in this older screen is the blinds. This is a normal range chart for poker. Any like serious poker player will know what this grid means. It's all the suited pairs, all the suited cards, all the unsuited cards, and then all of the pairs from aces down to deuces. This is all a part of the initial creation of any given rule in your strategy. We would require these plus the blinds to do that. And then once this is this was a wireframe that I had done, not really a wireframe, it's just kind of a rough design. And then I had this done by a Fiverr guy, and he came close. I think this is halfway decent. We were kind of focused on mobile. At this point in time, I'm kind of focused on web because I think it'll just be easier to and faster to build and maintain early on. And then we can adjust our what of our needs are for mobile later on. And this is again the wireframe for what I was trying to do. These are the extra tools. Once you pick your prerequisites, the blinds is actually going to move up here. And then there's these other tools that the person can use. And when you click on these buttons, you would see the tool. This is my idea. I'm kind of hoping a UX person can make this better and cleaner and faster and easier and nicer and self-explanatory, which is what UX people do really well. This is kind of the Fiverr design of what I was envisioning. There's some of the tools that we kind of came up with some details. I don't necessarily like any of these from the Fiverr design guy. Again, wireframe, and this, I don't like this one at all. This is for draws, and I think we're going to change draws to something else anyway. These tools on the side are going to be dynamic. We may only have a couple of these to start with, but we're going to probably add more and more as time goes on. There could be some feedback ones where the user pays extra and they can actually get extra information from running test tournaments on existing bots in our AI bot corral, where if they know a bot specifically, if they've seen it before, they can actually write some like programming rules. So if I see this player a third time and they 3-bet 3.5 every single time, I can 4-bet them, 7x and, see if they fold or things like that. We might be able to add some rules onto this later on. This is another one, early tournament. This is draws, or outs, I'm sorry. And I have 27. I think the max is 25. I think some people argue there's 26 outs in some scenarios, but I think 25 is actually the max. And you would just, and then this would probably change. It's not just one set. We would have a range. So you could have, so if I have a hand that's anywhere from like 12 outs to 20 outs, I would do this. And if it's under 12 outs, I would do that. And so there may be a range of outs that we have designed in here. And then it just goes on. And then this is, what your current hand is or what you're drawing towards. That's how, my kind of like flushing out the logic. I don't know how to design that at all. There's some other ones in here for, this one is the current bet. If it's, and right here, we're just saying it's 3.5 big blinds. This would probably be okay, something like this. And just, we always talk in big blinds, so this would be accurate to some degree. But and this just really has all of the functionality of our app that we want to build. The other thing I wanted to bring up is, I'm going to pull in, I have this Mach9 Poker. Oops, I can't type. Mach9poker.com/alpha. And I'm probably going to expose this to people. I was kind of trying to keep this a little private, but, building in public is not a terrible thing. So this is, I did some HTML, CSS myself and grabbed some tools to kind of get a better feel for where this would be going in a web scenario. And this is kind of what I came up with, is this would be the homepage, not the landing page, the homepage. You're already logged in. This is what you see. These are your rules. But these are the rules filtered by this top area, right? And then the only other thing is range. This would probably move over into the selection criteria. I have it over here as one of the tools, but it actually needs to be one of the selection criteria to see the rules. So, and range is basically you select the cards that you would play in this particular rule. And if it's anything other than these hole cards, this rule would not be in effect. And in a lot of cases, if you don't have a rule for hole cards, the default will be to fold, it makes it easier. You don't have to create rules for folding, for standard folding or pre-flop folding. But anyway, the whole idea is that you can set a range of blinds, big blinds. Most poker tournaments start around 100 or 50 chips, and then they go up. This actual blind structure is from one of the WSOP tournaments, and it goes up to like 10 million. Depending on who's left, this will continue to go up and up and up. But you can basically create rules for areas of the tournament, right? So the whole idea is maybe for the first 4 levels, you could have a set of rules, and then for the next 4, and the next 4, and the next 4, and so on. And then you create rules based on your round, right? So pre-flop, flop, turn, river, what position you're in. I don't know if this is the right visualization for selecting these things, but this is what I came up with because it looks really simple. And the whole idea is you would pick these, you would pick a range, and then you'd get a list of your rules, your current rules, or whatever. Or you could create a rule, and then it would just, and then you could select the rest of these tools that I had described in the functional design. So this is kind of where we're driving. I know this is a longer video, But what I'm really, the ask here is I really need some UX help, startup UX help. We're, willing to negotiate compensation. Uh, but it would be really awesome if I could find somebody who knows poker really well and has UX UI design skills to join our team. That's it. That's what I want to get across today. Again, David Cornelson, Mach9 Poker. If you're interested in helping us out, just shoot me an email, david.cornelson@mach9.com. I'm on Twitter at Mach9 Poker. And you can DM me on Twitter and or catch me on LinkedIn, DM me on LinkedIn. And thanks for spending the time watching my video.